Hi friends, today before we begin with the recipe, I'm going to tell you a small story. So when we were children, we used to visit our hometown very often. Not just to meet our relatives and friends, but my dad and my kaka used to plan these beautiful day outs for us. We had a piece of land and farming used to happen there, and there was a stream that used to flow near the piece of land where we used to sit and wade through the water. And once it was decided that all the men are going to cook a prawn biryani while the women are going to sit and relax. And the recipe that I'm going to show you today is taken from my grandmother's recipe book. That's her recipe, which was made back then, I think almost 40 years ago. And that's the recipe I'm going to show you all today. So let's see how to make my grandma's style prawn biryani. So I've heated 2 tablespoons of ghee over here. I'm going to add a few whole spices. So just let's add 4 cloves, 2 bay leaves, 3 green cardamoms, 1 mace, 1 black cardamom, and 10 to 12 black peppercorns. Now once these whole spices release their aroma, we'll add 2 medium onions that are sliced, and we're going to saute them till they're soft and translucent. We do not want to brown them. The onions are translucent. Let's add the rice. So I'm going to add 3 cups of soaked basmati rice. Now you can also use a short grain, or you could use any rice that you like. We'll just mix this well. Now to this, we're going to add 6 cups of water. So I'm taking hot water here. So basically just double the quantity of the rice. Now salt, since I'm using Himalayan pink salt, I'm going to add just 2 teaspoons of this, not more. Just add juice of half a lemon, maybe a tablespoon of lemon juice. This will help the rice to remain separate. It won't get clumpy and soggy. And I'm just going to throw in 2 tablespoons of freshly chopped coriander. This gives an amazing fragrance and taste to the rice. Give the rice a good stir. Cover this, bring the rice to a boil, and once you get 1 boil, reduce the flame to a medium and cook it on a medium flame till the rice is done. So I'm going to just shift the urli to a smaller burner. So now for the prawns, let's heat 3 tablespoons of oil. We'll add a few spices, whole spices. So I'm going to add 10 peppercorns again, 3 green cardamoms, 3 cloves, 1 black cardamom, and 1 star anise. And now we're going to add 4 onions that are sliced. I've taken medium-sized onions. So we'll add this. Now you need to saute these onions till they are golden brown in color. I remember that day so vividly when we had gone to the farm. All the children, we were about 6-7 cousins and parents and kakas and buas and everyone. We were all walking. Children were carrying mats and little picnic baskets. And my kaka, my father, they built the chula with stones, and the kids were sent to pick up twigs to light the fire. And the food was cooked in a huge kalai wala brass bartan. And it was crazy fun because the women were expecting the men to goof up, but they had done a brilliant job that day. So it's a fun memory for me. So the rice is boiling here. Now we'll reduce the flame and we'll cook till the rice is done. So the onions are slightly brown. At this point, I'm going to add salt to fasten the process. Now you will see the onions will brown jhatke mein. So the onions have caramelized beautifully, Now we'll add a tablespoon of ginger and garlic paste. So I'm going to add garlic first, a tablespoon of ginger paste. And here I have sliced 10 green chillies. I'm going to add that as well. Now after sauteing this for a minute, we're going to add 3 tomatoes that are finely chopped. So you can see the oil has started to separate. Now we'll add the spices. So half teaspoon of turmeric powder, 2 tablespoons of chili powder. So I made a special garam masala. I mean, it's my Amma's recipe. So I have made that for the biryani today. The recipe for that garam masala is going to be given in the description. So don't worry. And we'll add 2 teaspoons of that. Plus I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of fennel seed powder. This gives an amazing flavor to your biryani, your prawn pulao, especially for the prawn pulao. Now here I have 3/4 kg of prawns. We're going to add this. Just toss the prawns in the masala for a minute. So prawns usually cook really fast. Now after mixing the prawns in the masala for a minute, we're going to add a cup of thick coconut milk. Now you can use ready-made one also, not an issue. Just mix this well. Now remember, we've already added salt to this. So be a little careful when you're going to adjust the salt. I'm just going to quickly check on the rice as well. Let's check. Yeah, I can't see any water. So just shut the flame and just keep the lid off. Let it just cool down a bit. And then we're going to just use a fork and we're going to fluff the rice. Okay. Meanwhile, to the prawns. Now this is my addition. I'm going to add a few leaves of mint, fresh mint. But you know, I had added mint once to the recipe and everyone had liked it. 2 tablespoons of freshly chopped coriander. Just mix this well. And now we're going to cover this and cook for exactly 2 to 3 minutes on a medium flame. So I'm going to use a fork and just fluff the rice up. If I use a spoon, you know, it tends to break the grains. Now after 3 minutes, I'm shutting the flame for the prawns. I don't want them to get overcooked because they become very chewy. So I'm going to put the prawn biryani on a dum in a clay pot. You can choose whichever pot you want. So first I'm going to just smother the base of the vessel with little ghee. First, let's put a thin layer of the rice. So take the rice that's from the bottom initially. And now half the prawn mixture on top. I'm going to add half of the rice now. Some saffron water. Some fried onions. We've done a video of how to fry onions. Please watch that. I think it's on Simplified with Smita, which comes every Wednesday. And I'm going to garnish it with a little bit of coriander. Now add the rest of the prawn gravy. The rest of the rice as well now. Let's drizzle some saffron water, coriander, fried onions. Now I'm going to cover this with a cloth. Put a lid on top of this. Just put the ends of the cloth on the top, nowhere close to the burner. And now on a low flame for 15 minutes, give it a dum and let it rest for at least half an hour before you serve it. So I kept the biryani on a dum for 15 to 20 minutes, shut the flame and let it rest for half an hour. And now we're going to serve this in a serving bowl. So you saw what an easy recipe it is. Please try this recipe, let me know. And if you have any of your grandma's recipe, don't forget to share it and keep watching Smita Deo.